AskReddit by Slaney0. Pro-gun Americans, what's the reasoning behind bringing your gun for errands? My ex tried to take my life many times before. Now that he's in the pokey, his family has put many threats out, and he's released in just a couple months, so who is to say he won't try it again? Only problem is this time, I won't be defenseless and running down a road on foot for my life. Almost 70% of mass shooters have a history of DV. Glad you are protecting yourself and I wish you well. Deleted. This man has probably been banned for life from Commandant. Go. I got jumped once and left in the street unconscious. That will not happen to me again. Deleted. Because I live where the predators eat your face while you're alive. Anna. Miami. Deleted. Holy shit. I had never heard of Invisor. I am getting one for my son and my wife. Both ride public trans and walk alone. Thank you. Live in an area with high crime. Police arrive way too late. Police are for after the crime anyways. I don't, but the answer is very obvious. Most scenarios where you would need protection like this happen either in public or during a break-in. Almost a year ago in Buffalo, New York, 10 people died running an errand at Tops grocery store. Anytime someone asks and I tell them I'm in favor of carrying, I usually tell them the same thing. I believe, truly, the world would be a much better place without guns, but that I don't live in that world. There are more guns than people here, and while 99.9% of gun owners are decent, law-abiding people, that 0.1% is all it takes to justify needing a gun to defend yourself. Also, before anyone says it, I understand the potential issues of shooting back during a mass shooting event. Call me crazy if you like, but I'd rather go out fighting back than dying helplessly like so many people have unfortunately had to do. Also, I have no idea what I would do in that scenario and I hope to never know, but again, living by a set of ideals is great. I just choose to do what I see as pragmatic. I was almost raped by someone I stood no chance against. Fortunately I was rescued before anything happened. Had I had a gun on me I probably could have pulled it on him. I just feel safer. I have my concealed carry license and have done training, so I am carrying responsibly and I feel good about it. Glad you got through that bad situation and are prepared to protect yourself if ever needed in the future. At my old job, I dealt with a lot of emotionally unstable people. I've been held hostage twice, threatened so many times that they were going to harm, kidnap, murder me, that I couldn't even begin to count. Had unwanted sexual advances made, stalked. I got a concealed carry permit literally as soon as I could. Fortunately I never had to use it, but I liked knowing I had a fighting chance. And to answer Arp's original question, I had a purse that had a secret compartment for my gun. It would have been a nuisance to constantly be taking it in and out, which meant I always had a gun with me everywhere I went. Imo, if you have a permit and you carry a sidearm, that's fine. Protect yourself, others, whatever. Perfectly reasonable. Folks who are carrying fucking long rifles into a McDonald's, WTF are you doing? You look like a fucking idiot. Most gun owners dislike these guys as much as you do. You are your own first responder. Shame people don't use this same thought to learn CPR and basic first aid. When seconds matter, police are only minutes away. Police don't stop crimes, they document it. I live on a farm, I have to protect my animals. As someone that has never carried a gun, I can totally 100% see the need on a farm. Shit gets wild in the wild. My mother used to carry a .38 revolver in her bag, back before you needed carry permits, the late 80s. One day after shopping in Kmart, she noticed a man follow her out of the store. She walked across the lot and went through the cars to her car in an indirect way to see if he was actually following her, and he was. She had the car keys in one hand and the other in her pocketbook on the pistol. When she tried to open her door, he ran up, punched her in the face, pulled out a knife, grabbed her pocketbook and threw it to the ground. He obviously wasn't trying to rob her. When he pulled the pocketbook away, she had the .38 already in her hand and she shot him in the leg. She was on the ground. He dropped and she got up and ran. He got locked up for 4 years and he was a suspect in more than 3 other assaults. So yeah, if it's legal and you know what you are doing, carry if you. The way I look at carry is, if it's properly holsters and no baggy clothing blocking your drawer, you are being a responsible carrier. And I would much rather have a gun I never have to use than find out I was unlucky enough to end up in a situation I needed and don't have it. Be it human or mountain lion. Same reason some people carry mace, lock their doors, or have their phone ready to call for help. It's just in case you have that 1 in a million chance that you encounter a psycho. Deleted. Even if they did have an obligation, it's not like you have a personal cop bodyguard. If you have to call the police, you probably don't even need a gun, barring a prolonged mass shooting or something. It's the situations where you don't have time to call the police that I'd want a gun. I personally don't carry one, but I have the luxury of living in a nice neighborhood and working in a nice neighborhood. Removed. Because I am a woman. Because I feel more safe with it. Because I would be forever grateful for it if I were ever in a situation that I needed it. Because it is my right. Bingo. The great equalizer for women. Better than waiting 4 hours on a cop after you call because you got mugged or even worse raped. I don't personally, but I studied crime in college. Statistically speaking, as a man you're far more likely to be murdered by a stranger in the streets. With that in mind, carrying a gun for self-defense as a man isn't that unreasonable. For real men use their fists when someone attacks you. It isn't a boxing match, and even throwing punches can get very lethal very quickly, and no matter how badass you think you are, there is always someone bigger and stronger than you out there. In case anyone is wondering, as a woman you are most likely to be killed at home by someone you know, for those who were curious. The people that say real men use their fists have never been in a fight. Why would I take chance of letting someone knock me out? I fall, crack my head on the ground and die. We're adults. If you attack me, I assume you want to kill me and will respond appropriately. This isn't high school where I'm just expecting someone to start a fist fight. If you're an adult starting a fight, you're an insane and violent person, and I'm not engaging in fighting. Same reason I put on a seatbelt before I drive the car. I'm a photographer with no guns, yet I find it similar to me bringing my camera everywhere. Preparedness. One way or another you're shooting someone. Because police have no real legal reason to protect you. Because this is a country with more guns than people. Because I believe everyone has a right to self-defense. Because while the vast majority of people are decent human beings just trying to get their shit and go home, it only takes one maniac to do a lot of damage. It only takes one maniac to end your life or fuck it up completely. They don't even have to do a lot of damage, objectively speaking. It's my emotional support pistol. Bought it a little vest on Amazon. I just watched a video, https://www.youtube.com/watch?GoYUR5U7Y0 today of a woman on her daily business who there was a car next to her. As she opened her door, 3 men got out and tried to abduct her. Luckily an armed citizen heard her screams and came to assist her without firing a shot. It's far from the only incident that takes place in public. Even if you want to rely on police, they are limited. In my city there are about 1,000 sworn officers for about 400,000 citizens. Average police response time in different areas averages between 3 and 15 minutes, while the average deadly threat happens in seconds to minutes. You are the primary agent in your self-defense. And remember that an attacker is the one who chooses when this situation occurs. You can't impact that. All you control is how you respond. I'm not American, but if I had the right to carry and had a firearm, why wouldn't I bring it with me? To keep the King of England from walking in here and pushing me around. Take that, redcoats. I currently live in rural America. Farms, logging, and hunting for food are actual parts of our lives. We carry weapons because we use them in our work, for defense against critters. Snakes and bears are two examples. This makes carrying a weapon in public not so weird since many here carry them in their work. They carry knives when they work. They also carry pistols. It's a part of the everyday life for many people here, going west of Richmond, VA. This was also true where I grew up, in the rural deep south. But even then, it has consequences. I had a friend who worked as a computer hardware geek in Florida, back when RAM was over 100 per megabyte. He would be carrying around 20k worth of hard drives and RAM on most days. So he started carrying. But he was ignorant and careless. He stored his gun in his Jeep in his sun visor. His Glock 19 fell down when he hit a bump, and he grabbed it in the air and shot himself in the face. With his co-worker sitting next to him. I performed his funeral. The moral of the story is that carrying a gun is totally fine until you are ignorant and careless, and then it's not. The chances that my house will burn down are low, but I still have a fire extinguisher. And NBSP. A concealed carry gun is like a fire extinguisher for muggers, mass shooters, etc. We don't have a daily schedule for when a psycho mass shooter is gonna light up a Walmart, church, grocery store, etc, etc. I've actually contacted the supervisor about it. He gave me some mumbo jumbo about corporate not wanting to spend the money to hire a scheduler. Joke answer, because it's my God-given right. Real answer, I'm skinny and passive. I do everything to avoid a fight, so if something happens I want to be ready since my physique probably won't be enough depending on the situation. You never know when you'll need it. Rather have one and not need it than need one and not have it.